Kash Patel has been nominated by Donald Trump, everybody saw, as the potential FBI director. He has called for the release of the Epstein files and the Diddy list. He also believes that a mass declassification is necessary when it comes to 9/11 and the JFK files. In his words, to rebuild public trust in government institutions, he has said that the truth must come out to address concerns of corruption and accountability. We actually have two videos that I want to play you. These are from Kash Patel appearing on different podcasts. The first one is Glenn Beck. The second one is Tim Pool. This is where he talks about seeing the 28 pages that were classified from the 9/11 files regarding the attacks and the Saudi Arabian ties, Saudi Arabian ties to the 9/11 attacks. If we could play the tape, Jake.
I never believed that the CIA killed Kennedy.
No. You're talking to a guy that's read the entire JFK file.
You've seen all the secret stuff?
I've seen all of that, and I've seen the 7 pages of the 9/11 report. I've seen it all.
Let's play.
You don't say that to people that you can't tell what you saw.
Well, anybody could see it because the 28 pages that he mentioned, he said the 28 pages there. That 28 pages was declassified in 2016. Anybody can go and find it. But and we'll get into what those 28 pages include in just a minute. But let's play this next clip. This is him on Tim Pool, where they further discuss a mass declassification.
Anyway, the other thing that I put in the book that I recommended the boss to do hits on this. We need a 24/7 declassification office.
Yes.
Rolling papers out 24/7.
Nice.
And not just like JFK and not just 9/11. You're talking to the guy that's read the whole 9/11 report and those 7 pages that people talk about. But I believe, as like the guy who's an intel guy who believes wholeheartedly in the classified system of information, I believe that it has been over-abused by these corrupt officials in government to hide the truth and enact more corrupt activities. So what I told the boss was like, I don't care what you call it, truth and reconciliation, whatever, come up with a better name. But every agency and department literally submits all of their documentation.
Oh, what happened? We're getting
Whereas he's talking about the CIA.
Wow.
And
well, here we
Deep
go.
state attack.
I believe you could get half out. Half. I still think the other half needs to remain classified. I'll always argue that it does serve a purpose. But like you're seeing in these documents in the Jack Smith case, they're just redacting stuff that they lied about, that they broke the law.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's used to protect themselves.
And it's a public document in a federal court, which is a document for the people of the United States. And we can have you run that office. You can come in and just be like, hey, I want all the Saudi documents.
I'll gladly do that. I'd be so happy.
So Luke will be the press secretary for the Libertarian Party.
The declassifying
the
documentary.
Viceroy of declassification.
Absolutely, I like that.
There you go.
I'm in. You got. Where do I sign up?
Yeah, but I think that's how you earn the respect. Like you said, Donald Trump started talking about these things. Then we started putting these documents out there. And remember when I ran Russiagate, right? They came after me and said, if you put out the Nunes memo and you put this out that you wrote, our enemies and our allies are going to get murdered. No one died.
Well, Rob, I hope to and here's my thing, Rob, because I know you want to keep going. This better not all be talk. This better not all be talk because I'm sick and tired of we're going to release this, we're going to release this, and then once they get in, nothing happens.
And Trump, what was his justification for not releasing the JFK files?
Me personally, because the CIA is 100% involved, FBI, it'll destroy these institutions, and people will lose all faith. Not like we haven't already. I think that's what it is of who was actually involved. Lyndon B. Johnson, him, all these efforts.
But at this
said
point,
it a few times. He gave like an actual answer, right? What was it?
I don't know. That's why I was asking. I know that he has mentioned it, but I don't know what his actual answer was.
I'll look it up.
But okay, it'll destroy those institutions. That is literally what they created the Department of Government Efficiency to do: is to drain the swamp and get rid of those institutions. I saw Harry Enton from CNN. He showed a chart this week about the public distrust when it comes to the FBI, and we are at a record high for distrust. The actual trust, it used to be around 61%. 61% of Americans believed in the FBI. It's now down to like 46%. Nobody believes in these institutions. Everybody knows or thinks that the CIA or the United States government had some type of involvement in the killing of JFK. Why continue to hide it from us if we want actual answers? Now, you get to the 28 missing pages. Did you find why Trump?
2017, he said he was going to release them. On October 2024, with the interview with Rogan, He elaborated on the decision that he was persuaded by good people. Guess who the good person
Mike
was?
Pompeo.
Mike Pompeo.
That's
That's
red
freaking
flag.
deep. It doesn't get deeper than Mike Pompeo. That's one of the main
he's
ones.
Still calling Mike Pompeo a good person in 2024.
Yeah, I don't agree. By the way, and everybody's always like, you guys are just Trump loyalists. I don't agree with that. Zero at all. By the way, subscribe real quick if you haven't. Anyway, he wants to delay it. He wants to delay it, Rob, due to national security reasons. You know why? Because the nation will lose their fucking mind if they know what we know.
It would be the end of the CIA if that document came out and revealed what everyone likely already suspects.
It's everybody here.
It would be great.
Would everybody like to be lied to and not told the truth, or would you guys like to be told the truth and we see the CIA dismantled?
Dismantle
the CIA.
Okay, so when it comes to the 28 pages of the 9/11 report, which is what he mentions, Kash Patel, I just want to give some brief background in case you're unfamiliar. The 28 missing pages were part of a classified section of the U.S. Congressional Joint Inquiry into the terroristic attacks on 9/11. If you guys remember, on 9/11, 19 hijackers, 15 of which were Saudi Arabian nationals. They were from that country. And we're, a bunch of guys in caves. Afghanistan. Never have we invaded Saudi Arabia. Never have we held them accountable. 15 of the 19 hijackers were Saudi Arabian. And then there's all these financial ties. The actual 28 pages really breaks down to two guys. Omar al-Bayoumi, a Saudi national in the United States who provided assistance to two hijackers, Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Mindar. And then there is another name, the other gentleman that is mentioned in this. His name is Fahad al-Tahumi. He is a Saudi national who served as an accredited diplomat at the Saudi consulate in Los Angeles. Both of these guys have financial ties to two of the 9/11 hijackers. Both of them met these guys in San Diego in early 2000, helped them set up an apartment, helped them get funded, and where the money ties back to the Saudi Arabian royal family and the Saudi government, there were payments made by Princess Haifa. She was then the wife to the Saudi ambassador to the United States, Prince Bandar bin Sultan. He provided those funds to al-Bayoumi. So this money was hidden. It went from the princess to the Saudi ambassador to al-Bayoumi. Then the payments were made, to the wife of Obama Bassan, a close associate of al-Bayoumi. So the money never actually directly went from the Saudi government to al-Bayoumi. It went from Princess Haifa to this Osama Bassan, a close associate of al-Bayoumi, and then that money went to al-Bayoumi. The total amount was around $74,000. They claim that these funds were for medical expenses, and we covered the insurance bullshit earlier, so maybe it actually was. However, the funds have often been tied to financing the hijackers before the 9/11 attacks. Even al-Bayoumi, this guy, one of the two people named in the report that helped the two 9/11 hijackers, al-Bayoumi was employed by a company called Dalla Avco. It was a company with extensive contracts with the Saudi Ministry of Defense and Aviation. This guy received monthly payments, a stipend, from that company despite any evidence of actual work. So what they're saying is this company that had ties to the Saudi government gave this guy money to come live in the United States, and they funded these intelligence activities that al-Bayoumi was doing. And then when the two terrorists came over to the United States, he, with the help of the other gentleman that's named in the report, helped these two Saudi nationals get established in the United States, get apartments, get them funded, and then helped carry out the 9/11 attacks. There's it's indirect links back to the Saudi government with the payouts, but there's clearly a link here. And we're now 23 years removed. So far, as of August of this year, 700 families of 9/11 victims have actively filed lawsuits against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia seeking accountability for the alleged support provided to the 2001 terrorist attacks. Many of the families are calling for the Saudi government to be held accountable for funding the attacks, orchestrating the attacks. And at what point do we go, well, there's money. Remember Ian Carroll? I don't know if he said this on the episode a few days ago, but when he was first here, he said, I asked him, I go, how do you get into this? And he goes, I just started following the money. Well, we have found the money trail, and the money trail ties directly back to the Saudi government. So the government gave this guy $74,000 for what reasons we don't know. There's an aviation company tied to the Saudi government that's also paying him, and that money is for work that he can't account for, and there's no evidence of ever being done. And the only thing that we can account for is this guy providing hotel accommodations, finding the two hijackers apartments, and then giving them money. So at what point do we go, hey, we see this, the documents have been declassified, we see that there's a tie to the Saudi government, when do we actually hold these people accountable for the 9/11 attacks, or are we going to continue doing exactly what we've done with the JFK files? We tell you we're going to declassify, we're going to give it to you, then we never give it to you because it's a matter of national security and interest to keep these secrets hidden.
As long
What's
as
the
you want
biggest
Saudi
matter of
oil.
national security? Because like, what are we gonna do? Make them an enemy? Like they have.
They killed 3,000 Americans.
It's impossible. They have all of our oil.
I don't give a fuck. I got an electric car. I don't need oil.
Yeah, but
they have us by the balls, though. They really do.
Don't we have oil here? I thought we had
Keystone Pipeline. Drill, baby, drill.
So this is a little bit in the weeds. We actually can't use our oil because we don't have the capacity to refine it the right way. So all of our oil gets sent to other places.
Where?
Okay.
To be
Like
refined.
Well, listen.
So it comes from here. It's refined elsewhere, and then they send it back.
Well, we sell it to foreign markets
because it's not the type that we need. Like
Yeah, we need that good brown oil.
We need the oil refineries in
Brent crude,
like Saudi Arabia and places like that to buy the stuff that we actually use.
Is Saudi Arabia the only country that has oil that we buy
Well, we
from?
destabilized the rest of the countries that we bought oil from.
Yeah, so
we get it cheaper.
There was some help from other places that were advantageous for Saudi Arabia.
But for them to have a hand, because I mean, how many of them were
so
13?
15 of the 19 hijackers
were from Saudi nationals. They're from Saudi Arabia. So that happens. We know, just like that, Mohammed, what the hell was his name? Mohammed Atta?
Mohammed Atta.
All these guys. So that happens, and we go, okay, here's 15 of them from Saudi. Osama bin Laden, Afghanistan, war, Iraq. And
Saddam
nobody's
Hussein.
saying shit.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't give, listen, I'd rather us fail and whatever. That is war. When a country has 15 of these assholes, everybody knows what the hell the deal was. We're not stupid. I don't give a shit. We'll figure it out. Then guess what? Let's take over. That should have been that's an act of war. Is it not an act of war?
You mentioned Mohammed Atta. Mohammed Atta's father spoke with CNN days after the attack, and he was named as one of the hijackers. And he said, I spoke to my son after September 11th. He is alive and well. He did not die. And then you look at the BBC reporting that World Trade Center 7 collapsed, but you can literally see World Trade Center 7 in the background. It had not collapsed yet. They made that announcement before. Then you look at, the passport. The only thing that survived from these planes was paper passports that somebody found on a street. And they went,
perfect.
Oh, none of 9/11 adds up. And at this point, we're 23 years removed. These families deserve justice. And if it means, we got to pay more on oil and we bomb the fuck out of Saudi Arabia, bring it on. I want answers as to what happened to the 2,977 Americans that were murdered on.
Well, I'd be more upset with our own government, though, because if anything, our government, at the very least, knew about it. At the worst, they coordinated it with Saudi Arabia.
There were warnings on George W. Bush's desk as early as August of 2001 where they were saying Osama bin Laden is going to attack America. We believe that they are going to hijack airliners to do it. We don't know anything beyond that, and nothing was done.
We literally bombed the wrong country. 9/11 happened
to say
we
nothing
went to
of those.
Iraq
We destabilized Saddam Hussein.
That's what. And by the way, I know a lot of people, family members from Iraq. They would much rather have Saddam Hussein still in power.
Yeah, it's a gang war right now.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's new freaking factions of terrorist groups forming. Now there's new ones. ISIS is making a comeback. Al Qaeda, all these places.
And they want to take Assad out of power.
And now they want to take Assad out of power. It's like, bro, 9/11 happened and we bombed Iraq and ruined everything. And you're right, Rob. Saudi, if 15 out of 19 people came and jumped your ass and they were all Venezuelan, why would you go to Colombia and start starting shit with Colombians? No. It's you guys. That's the war that should have been fucking started. But like you said, they own us. We need them. They could get away
and
with
that's to say nothing of alleged unnamed groups that danced. But
there was a bunch of dancers.
Let's not open that one.
And let's not forget, they killed Osama bin Laden during that raid, put him on a boat, and then gave him a funeral at sea because they didn't want to bury him in the ground and turn it into a holy site that Muslim extremists would go and worship at.
But
who gives a shit? kill him. And they should have drug his body through the streets, and every American should have been able to take a shit on his body. And instead, we're like, no, we have to be diplomatic in this and handle things the right way according to the Muslim religion. Enough of playing fair. I want accountability on everything. I want accountability on JFK. I want accountability on COVID. I want accountability on 9/11. If they are promising a mass declassification, you have my support. But Kash Patel, Donald Trump, if you sit here and you tell us that you're going to give us this, and then again you withhold that information, then at this point you've lost my support. I can no longer support people who tell us they're going to do something, run on something, and then don't do something.
I agree.
And Did he fly his family out here, Osama bin Laden?
Yes, the United States government flew out members of bin Laden's extended family because they were worried about their safety concerns.
That makes sense.
The safety concerns of the 2,977 people we don't really care about, but Osama bin Laden's family we must protect.
Oh, yeah, and I know we're closing. I was in the Air Force. There was a couple of flights from New York going to, I think, Ramstein Air Force Base, Germany, and it was all Osama's family. It's like, dude, think about the tactic. Wait a minute. So Osama bin Laden's behind it. I didn't believe it. So he's the number one, enemy number one. Yeah, his family wants to leave. Let's get him. Just get him. Don't question him. Don't bother them. Just get him the hell out of here. Whatever, bro. I don't believe any of it. But I want accountability. Rob, I love that. You should make a T-shirt. Accountability, because we need it. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.